All right, I found it.
I am both frightened and excited.
No, I think it's appropriate.
I am very curious as to what this will be.
Trying to remember if this is the final version because he sent me so darn many. I'm going to go with this one. Okay, I'm going to Giazzo it so I don't have to upload it to the room because that's always very obnoxious.
Yes.
I've shown this around and nobody said it was in horrible taste.
Oh, jeez.
And here it is.
A moment of truth.
Yes, hopefully it goes well. Well, that's a good start.
Oh, jeez. Mine's still loading, so I'm just hearing laughter, and now I'm afraid.
It's good laughter, I promise.
I hope so.
That is great. I mean, it's not quite as buff as I am in real life, but it'll do.
That's fantastic. Oh.
And we are saving that for later.
Oh, yeah. Well, trust me, it was going on the thumbnail, but absolutely, sir. Oh, yeah, it would help if I actually had the right doc open. Sorry.
Nah.
Save this. And recent questions. There we are.
Greetings, everyone.
How are you today, Brawny?
I'm doing all right.
Brawny.
Hello.
How you been, Canned?
Oh, Ryan will be here in a second.
You know, doing all right. Living the thug life.
Good.
Somehow I have trouble picturing that for you.
Because it's a total lie.
Well, there you go. Well, that's a good thing, though. I was there briefly. It's not fun. I don't recommend it.
No. I didn't choose the thug life. That's the end of that sentence.
Very good. And what are we up to now?
Oh, just waiting for Ryan to show up.
So, what exactly is the context of what we're doing here today? I mean, we
It's
doing
it's usually interview format.
Okay, I was gonna say, it's like a theme, or are we just shooting the crap, or what are we doing?
Oh, I guess if you hate the whole interview format, I guess we could just BS and start picking topics.
We can do whatever. I mean, it's your show. I just want to make sure I know what I'm in for.
Well, for example here, let's see. I'll just go with a random question here. You feel free to answer it or not, or save it up. You've joined in 2006 on YouTube. What made you veer away from Phonix Right?
God damn it. I was hoping no one ever saw those.
Well, you should have privated them, man.
I did. They are now. It's like, that's embarrassing. He's
like 3 weeks ago, I'm pretty sure that they were there, unless you just did it just recently.
Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, geez. Maybe it didn't take. I thought I privated.
I'm glad that we didn't open with that one live.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's not live anyway. So if you want me to edit that out, that's fine. That's a weird thing that I...
No, put it all in. Put everything in. Raw and uncut.
Yeah.
Cannedcream's reaction to his work from years ago is why I do not have my very first YouTube channel anymore.
It's like, you know how you sometimes wish you can go back in time and punch your younger self in the face?
Yes. Yes.
like maybe you stumbled upon a song that you forgot that you loved back in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Your old MP3 player.
Yeah. Something like that actually happened a while ago. I was like reformatting one of my computers, and like a bunch of old music I had popped back up, and so much of it was like whiny teen angst crap. I just hated myself. Should I? I've been completely avoiding the actual question. Should I actually answer it?
If you want to.
Yeah, you don't have to. No, god damn it, Ryan, you ruined it. Okay, we're going to start off the intro.
You saved it.
No, okay. So this is FNGR. Welcome you to LImbo Podcast, joined by the following co-hosts: Lady of Oranges, Brawny Buck, Rhino Mills. All right, now be ready for it, Ryan. And this week's King of Limbo, Cannedcream.
Hello. There we go. Perfectly timed.
Oh, there we go. I'm stoked now. So anyways, I was asking Cannedcream about his previous work with... Don't worry, I haven't seen any of them.
No one should see them.
Oh, they're that bad? Jesus. Okay, well, Ryan, you have something to do a commentary on later. His Phonix Right videos, he's horribly, horribly ashamed of them.
Good. I went for one more horribly in there, but yeah, pretty much right. Like, that was, for whatever reason, those were really popular. I guess for anyone listening who doesn't know, like the Phonix Wrong series, basically all you do is you just take the sprites from Phonix Right, and you just put whatever audio you want over it, and just
Yeah, I
make a
used
complete. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Brawny?
I used to watch those actually. I had a playlist full of them back when I was like 17, 18, which would have been about the time that you started.
So you can back me up. Those were kind of all over the internet for a while. Those were just weirdly popular.
I especially like the ones that kind of ended up on YouTube after they had been created and uploaded to Newgrounds. Those you were usually the best ones.
There were some really good ones. There was a really good one that did the entire boot to the head joke thing. I don't know if anyone knows it.
But my favorite.
That one is done perfectly. It is still funny, and it's still some good audio. Yeah, it was just popular, and I wanted it to be popular on the internet, but I didn't have actual editing equipment, so everything was done freaking, Movie Maker, so it's all terrible.
What advice would you give to young aspiring content creators on YouTube with that in mind?
Yeah. Well, I guess you always got to start somewhere, and you're probably going to hate where you start when you look back on it later. But, I mean, that's how you learn. You do things, you figure it out as you go. Actually, what would be good advice? What would be really good advice? Learn how to not have shame. That is a great way to start.
Really?
That's my entire career.
I was going to actually cite you, Ryan, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to punch Ryan. Oh, he walked into it beautiful.
Ryan took himself out with that.
I would actually like a little bit of explanation to that, because I would think that when you're getting started, having a little bit of modesty and at least trying to test your own waters before you go completely crazy with whatever personality you have would be... explain how that... well, no, that was just a segue into the question. I would love to hear how it helps to not have shame when you're getting started.
Well, going by what you said, there is a difference between modesty and shame. I mean, not having modesty is like those people you see who jump into every video to say, hey, check out my channel. Hey, look at what I did, who are basically only just trying to draw attention. That's a lack of modesty. A lack of shame is just being, I'm not going to kill myself second guessing myself. I'm going to do what I think is fun or entertaining or whatever, and I'm going to put it up there, and I'm going to see how other people react. That's a lack of shame. Just being, I know I'm starting. I don't have the greatest equipment or the greatest ideas yet, but I got to start somewhere. That's a lack of shame.
That actually makes a bit of sense.
I can do that sometimes.
Still, that's my entire career.
Yes. All right then. So let's see. If you said that you wanted to just shoot the bull, are there any topics on the top of your head?
Well, hey, you're the host, man. I'll follow whatever direction.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Let's see. How are your thoughts on season 5 so far?
Season 5 has not had a lot of my favorite episodes. It's had some really good ones. What I have really been impressed though is the amount of crazy continuity we've had this episode, or the season entirely. Like, never before have this many episodes been this interconnected. I've really enjoyed that. That is cool. We're seeing, like, old characters come back. We're seeing old holidays come back. We're seeing things that happen in one episode immediately carry over to the next. Freaking cutie marks. It's great.
And callbacks to previous seasons as well. That was something else.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of those. How would you put it on average with some of the other seasons?
I think we're still above average. I mean, especially, I know a lot of people like to call back like the first and second seasons, the Holy Grail. I think a lot of that's just nostalgia, though, because we're going back, like 5 years now or something? We're going back a number of years. It's crazy.
Wow, 5 years.
I know, right? Doesn't seem that long.
Could be worse. You could be a Gen 1, bro.
Oh.
I know, like 2.
That openly admit it?
You could be me.
Let's see. Burning Donut's a Gen 1. Anthony C is a Gen 1. I mean, he's like, oh no, I'm here from the beginning. Oh, you've been here since season 1. He's like, no! If only.
Hipsters, all of them.
Yeah, someone called me OG one time because I said I was from season 1, and I was like, what about the 3 iterations before this?
A lot of people like to forget those.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Gen 3 or 3.5 or whatever it was.
Well, they're I don't think they compare, but that's
no.
Me. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think about that? How about the previous renditions? in generations.
You know, oh geez, I haven't really. I know of them more than about them because that was not my thing growing up. I wasn't watching ponies. I was being a real child in the '90s, and I was watching all the cartoons about ducks. You know, you had Darkwing Duck, and you had DuckTales, and you had Quack Pack, and you had the Mighty Ducks. The '90s really had a thing for ducks. It was a great time to be a duck in the '90s.
Well, that explains
like my kind of decade.
that explains Sibsy then.
Explains or
Maybe we take
excuses?
Take your pick. I would say explains.
Yeah, but no, it just wasn't my thing way back then, so I can't say I'm that. I'm not as OG as you, Brawny.
Alrighty
Okay,
then.
I got a question. This
Go ahead.
question I've barely ever gotten anybody, if anyone at all, to answer. Who is a
Oh, boy.
popular?
That's not how you get an answer.
Who is a popular analyst, or just a popular person in general that you just don't get why they're popular?
This seems like a bad question to answer. It's probably why no one's answering it.
Well, you came off as highly confrontational that time, Ryan. Like you were jamming the microphone like right in his face. Answer the question.
Who do you hate? Tell me.
Yeah,
Where are the drugs?
I usually ask that question with a bit more casually. It's just like I've barely gotten anyone to answer that one. Like some people have like kind of answered it, or gone with like the really safe answers, but that's about it.
God.
Okay. Well, go with your go with your YouTuber who's success. If you don't feel like going with Brawny,
God damn. I'm already here. Heck with it. I'll just go ahead and shoot myself in the foot completely if we're doing this.
Oh.
I don't entirely understand the appeal of I like Kim Possible a lot. Her videos are.
Oh my!
I know.
Your hype. No, your hype crushed me there. I was like, oh my, this is going to be decadent. Oh, is that all?
Let me tell you, like, no, I don't want to be like an asshole about it because I have nothing against her personally. I'm sure she's a great person, but it's like, it's in my opinion, like her video's like 3 minutes long. It's like mostly jokes with very little actual information in it. A lot of psych gags, and then it's over. And like, she has like 8 different editors. It's like, well, how much of this is actually you then? I don't understand the appeal. I'm really trying to get into it because you got to be this popular for. She is insanely popular. She has to be for a reason. Like, I will not discredit her or what she does. I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure she's a great person, and I'm sure her content is amazing, and that her fans are great people. I just don't understand it.
Well, if you can't discredit her for what she does, but at the same time you don't know exactly what she does, then what exactly is going on there? So how about this? Why don't let's put some of our analysis skills to the test here. What do we think is the ratio of what KP actually does as opposed to that crew that she has?
That I don't know. I assume she at least does the writing. I have to guess that comes from her. I know she has several editors, which, if she can afford to have different editors, then good for her. I wish I could afford an editor half the time.
I don't believe she pays them. From what I've heard.
Then I redact that then. I don't. I guess. I mean, the writing has to be at least, and I assume the directing as well. I think everything but like maybe the editing and possibly some of the animation. I don't know whether or not she knows how to animate or whether she cares to or whatever.
She doesn't at least seem to me like she does. So with that said, then what do you think about the writing and the directing?
Like I said, it all looks good. It all visually looks really amazing. It's really well up there among, like if we're going to just throw a wide net across all the analysts, it's definitely there at the top. But like I said, her videos are generally like 2 to 4 minutes long at most. And the ones that are actually about MLP, not her side projects that are MLP related, but the ones where she's actually doing her core series are about 2 to 4 minutes. A lot of it is mostly references and jokes to other things, and very little of it is actually about the episode. I mean, I guess if you want like a really quick, bite-sized, 3-minute time killer, that's great. But I mean, if you're really interested in analysis, she wouldn't be the first person I'd say to go to.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm looking forward to the comment
sorry. That
section
keeps going off constantly. Yeah, no, I think you'll be fine. Not like you. There's so many more. Yeah, you'll be perfectly all right with that.
Just stay up
And if
there behind
not-
the blast shield. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Secretly on the side.
Takes.
Here's what you Here's what you do, Cam.
Secretly on the side, scripted a commentary on this podcast right now. Not really.
Yeah. No. Well, take solace that me and Ryan shut our mouths the whole time when you were gone.
We are not associated. We don't know why he's here. We didn't invite him. He just showed up.
And here's another thing, Ken. You can put me in front of you and be like, well, he made me say all these things. He was the one asking the tough, in-depth questions.
You're not letting me get off lightly.
Here's just.
I'll tell you what. Do you take? Go ahead.
I was gonna say he's gonna be like that Rion Rhino Mills. He was in the call yelling logical fallacy.
So I was going to say, do you take extra? What are your thoughts on the whole? I'm sure you've heard it to death. I don't know why I wimped out on like saying it immediately, but the whole pony maker thing that you've gotten that to work for you.
Yeah, go ahead and say it for the 4-letter word it is. Yeah, it's not.
That's what KP's going to show up in the comments and be like pony maker, and then just walks off.
Drop the mic, walk off. Totally legit.
Well, hey, that's all she's got, and you know something? I would say that it's more about the quality of content, which I believe you have, and so I mean that's why I listen to you. But shoot, I used to have that type of avatar as well.
Yeah, same
you can
here.
you can make it work as long as you design it right and you save your code. So whenever you need a new pose, you can just get it, and it's all the same size. It works almost as well as a puppet.
Hey, you beat me. True. My first avatar wasn't even original. I used to be just Sweetie Belle.
Well, that's different. In the commentary community, you get away with a little bit more.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Aren't you like one of the handful of like maybe 3 people that have their original own artwork?
Well, yeah. The commentary community does not have a lot of original avatars. I'm like in the well, I mean, more people have started using them, but that's because I
posers.
Posers.
Exactly.
Well, no, you need to have an original avatar. It always drove me nuts whenever I was watching a commentary video of some kind, and the avatar is just various pictures of anime screenshots with different faces for emphasis.
Brawny,
what's up?
Do you remember who made that commentary?
Was it you, Ryan?
Maybe.
Or was it Zilwewick?
Maybe.
Okay.
I think, yeah, because I do remember I did make a video involving Brawny a year ago that I made at like 2 in the morning.
Goodness, I did not know that you did that. I'm going to have to go look that up now.
No, don't kill me. Again, those videos.
That's not.
Look, Anthony put out a video where someone was like pretending to voice over me with these like
Licky.
Nonsensical, stereotypical right-wing conservative Christian extremist crap that you could possibly think of. And I mean, I got a laugh out of it.
Oh, dude, it was. I remember I told, was it Robin and Ino, and they turned around and told you immediately, and I was like, "Thanks, guys," and they're like, "Oh, don't mention it." I'm like, "I will get both of you."
He's like, "I will haunt you from the grave." So yeah, you don't have anything to worry about.
I got Robin though.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Let's see.
So much love.
So, you've been a content creator a bit longer than most, Mr. Cream. Do you have any interesting migraine stories that YouTube's given you?
Is YouTube anything but an interesting migraine all of the time? Like, it works, kind of, but I mean, there's no really good story about it. It's all just stupid technical things like, oh, okay, for whatever reason the thumbnail doesn't want to work this time. I have to upload it 10 times. Or, oh, okay, you don't feel like processing the video today? Okay, I'll come back tomorrow. We'll try it again. I'll work around your schedule, YouTube.
Did you ever have a time where you were uploading a video and then your power went out?
Not the power. I've had my internet go out for maintenance right near the end of uploading before. Because that's
I've got that beat.
Yeah.
How about the your computer insists on resetting right when you're rendering, mid-render.
Yeah, I haven't had it happen for that, because usually what mine does is like, hey, we need to restart for updates. Do you want to postpone it, or if you don't do something in 10 seconds, we're going to restart your computer. So you have to be watching in that 10 seconds, or it restarts on you. I've had that happen before. It wasn't.
Well, it does eventually stop asking you and just automatically, reboots on
You
itself.
see, all of you need to switch to Mac. I don't have these problems.
I will sooner die.
This is starting to feel like yesterday's
Brawny brought
podcast.
up
Okay.
religion in the call here.
Oh no, I was thinking of the Apple IBM thing. I had a.
It's not.
That got highly uncomfortable.
I've worked. I've done video editing before. I mean, that's what I went to college for. That's what you wouldn't know it by looking at my stuff, but I actually tried to train in this shit. And we used Macintoshes and Final Cut Pro and everything for our entire thing. And God, if I didn't learn to hate Mac through having to actually use one.
Oh, well,
I didn't start out hating.
There's your problem. There's your problem. Final Cut. Why are you using Final Cut? You got to use Adobe Premiere.
They didn't have Adobe Premiere. We had Final Cut Pro.
Okay. Do you have a pirate hat and an eye patch?
He's asked me this before.
I
get the odd feeling
or deny any of these allegations without the presence of my lawyer.
All right then.
Got it.
Very well. Very well.
Okay, how long does it usually take for you to edit a video?
It depends on how lazy I'm being. Usually it's a multi-day process. It's like at least one day to actually script something out. Maybe I'll read it and record it in that same day if I'm feeling ambitious. And generally I'll get the audio editing done all in like the same, 24-hour span. Write it, record it, do the audio editing, worry about the rest later. Then it's over into the edit. What?
Why does everyone have better work ethics than me?
It's
because you're surrounded by, slothful, lazy bop members there.
When I started, I had a video that got done in like 4 hours.
Well, didn't they used to be worse too, Ryan? You have to remember, now that you know what needs to be done properly, when you didn't know what you were doing, it was so much easier to get crap done.
Back when
now that you're like,
terrible,
okay, I have to do...
when you were just awful.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
now that you know what you're doing,
have you considered that work ethic might be a choice?
Maybe.
All right. Well, sit on that for a little while and see what happens. Ken, I'm a little curious as to the technical aspects of your product. So I want to know about your microphones, what software you're using, what your computer's like, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, that's fine. The microphone right now, it's a Blue Snowball. It's really popular because it's
cheap and effective.
Inexpensive. Yeah, cheap and effective. That's a good way to put it.
That's
It's inexpensive and it's pretty close to studio quality. I think I got this for like $60, considering that all the qualities are like 120 plus.
Mm-hmm.
Got a little pop filter on here for like $6, and that's a lifesaver all the time. Generally, for everything else, it's Sony Vegas Pro for the editing, and I have a program called Paint.net, which I use to make the thumbnails and any special photo editing I need to do, and Audacity to record in. So it's a combination of 3 different programs all kind of Frankenstein together into one functional video.
Does it take you a whole lot of effort to record, or do you read and speak at the same time pretty easily?
It varies. I have yet to have a single recording where I didn't flub up at least once. I've gotten very close to the end, only to trip over myself and screw up. But sometimes I get through it really well. Other times sometimes I have to go back entire paragraphs and just cut and restart all over because I've just screwed up entirely. So that's why I do scripts.
Yeah, do you do the whole script in one? Do you try to do the whole script in one recording, one take?
If I can, yeah, whenever I can. I script everything out word for word how I would actually say it, so I'm not trying to. I'm speaking as myself. It's a lot easier to read what I've written if I know I'm speaking my own tones, and then I just try to get through the entire thing in one reading. And if I flub up, I just go back, I restart, and then I just take care of all that in editing, is cutting out all the mistakes and bad parts.
All right, that's pretty cool. I can't do that. I have to do it by paragraph.
Well,
hey, whatever works best. There's no one right way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, question. What project would you say you regret the most out of any project you've worked on or put out? Or just even taken part in?
Oh, that's way more edgy.
Can I count this podcast right now as a regret?
Yeah, no, that used to be a favorite answer. Are you kidding me? That's where we started off.
I love how quick you were like, "Hey, no, that's fair. That's totally fair."
Ken sitting over there like, I trained to be a video editor. How is this my life?
What is my life?
Rethinking every choice I ever made that led me down this path.
You'll just be in the therapist office, and it'll just be sitting there. It's just like, when did this all start? Started when I got the freaking podcast.
Well, here's a fairly safe, innocuous question. What are your thoughts on animation, Eastern and Western?
You know what? They are both. I have been a complete cartoon nerd since I was a child. Little baby CC growing up, in the 1990s, coming right home from school, turning on the television the second he got home, the backpack barely hitting the floor before he's on his butt watching TV. Animation has only gotten better since then. We are in a current golden age of animation. We have things like My Little Pony: Friendship's Magic. We have Gravity Falls, Over the Garden Wall, Star vs. the Forces of Evil, Steven Universe, amazing cartoons that, these kind of things didn't exist when I was a kid. When I was a little kid, even the best cartoons had a very basic formula. You started off in a good place, something bad happened, the heroes would fight, they won, and you would end in the exact same place. There was no evolution, no continuity, no character arcs. Everything happened in a single episode. Now, characters can come in, characters can die, people change. It's freaking amazing. And that is just in Western cartoons what we have. If you want to jump over to anime, they've kind of been a little bit ahead of that curve longer than we have. I'm not a complete anime nerd. I will say that. I give me an English dub any day, and I will totally take that over subtitles.
Thank you. Someone else that thinks that.
If it's really good, I might read it, but still, it's like just speak English. I know that language. I don't have to pay as much attention. Weeb. But like I said, it's a lot of great stuff out right now. What a time to be alive and be a complete shut-in introvert nerd.
Well, hey, if you ever want to get halfway decent at understanding another language, like you might not be able to speak it back, turn off the subtitles.
Oh, jeez.
You'll figure things out eventually.
What is it? I want on a side note.
Deep in the pool.
On a side note, that for some reason the entire spiel about little CC was adorable. I will hug you,
little baby CC.
Ryan's over there picturing you, but a smaller version. You still got your glasses, but they're way too big for your face. You still got the vest and tie, but they're way too big for you. So you've just kind of grown into the same clothes that you've had since you were smaller.
Yes, that's what how it goes, right?
All bug-eyed, sitting at the TV like more apple fritter.
Oh, that's such an adorable mental image.
You're welcome.
It's so much better than reality.
Someone to draw
Let's
this.
go with that. Someone please do. Send it to me. I won't say no to fan art. I'm a whore for it.
Do you get a lot of it?
Nah, I don't get a lot of it. But when it does come in, I always do appreciate no matter what it is. That is always awesome. I always try to make a point to actually thank the person who makes it, because that is amazing and so stupid at the same time. I have nothing to do with My Little Pony. I have no creative control of that whatsoever. I'm a nerd who's watching the show, talking about the show. Why are you listening to me? Why, let alone taking the time to sit down and draw something for me?
Well,
that's amazing. Why?
Let me answer that question with a question.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you sit down and talk about it?
Because you know what, My Little Pony has an amazing community in it, and that is what originally drew me to the show, was all of the people who were talking about it and drawing pictures and writing fiction and all this stuff. Is like, okay, I have to see what this is about because it's getting this much attention. This has to be something more than just the internet being ironic about something.
Well, there you go. There's the answer to your question.
Yeah, I suppose so. I suppose that's right. Yeah. I really wanted to contribute to that, and since I can't, sing, I can't draw, and I can't animate, it's like, well, this is something that's kind of popular, that's within my range of skills. So take a chance at it, see what happens.
You are unbelievably relatable, and I want you to be one of my best friends.
Aww.
We are best friends for life now.
Have you wanted to take those skills? Have you wanted to take those skills and push them into other fandoms or other shows?
Oh yeah, I definitely. I'm not going to go in My Little Pony forever. I don't think anyone here will. There's eventually going to be a time where all of us are going to move on to whatever other projects interest us.
Well, since you mentioned that, what's your burnout on that right now? How are you holding up this season?
You know what? I
admit
there is some burnout. Like I kind of went like a month and a half without creating any content. It's like I need to stop for a little while. I'm getting so burned out. Because I had a weekly schedule. Every week, every Tuesday, I'd upload another video. And the longer that goes on, the more I'm kind of scraping for, okay, what's something that I can talk about that I haven't done before that's actually good and not just filler, because I don't want to do filler. It came points like I need to step back for a little while. I need to get some fresh ideas. I need to stop pushing myself, all week long to get a video done on time and still have spare time for everything else I need to do. So there is a burnout, and I've kind of restarted making content again, but I won't say the burnout has gone away. But I think that's kind of with everything. No matter how much you love something, eventually you have to just step back from it, at least for a little while, to be able to appreciate it once again.
So you replaced it with Let's Play videos.
Yeah, because the internet doesn't have enough of those, right?
Well, I might not be the best person to comment on that in the first place. I have relatively contentious opinions on video games, so.
Well, very few people are big fans of Let's Plays, so you're not in a huge minority, even in a gaming.
I mean, that's really just. This is something I want to do for fun. I'm not expecting anyone to watch it. I'm not expecting it to be popular. I'm not expecting to go anywhere with it. It's like, I just want to because this is fun for me. And if a few people have fun with it, that's, awesome. Thank you.
Well, that's one of the best mentalities to have. It's something I'm curious about. Which project of yours are you the most proud of so far?
I mean, we're talking just are we talking like an individual video or just out of everything that's...
Let's talk about the videos that we have on YouTube from your channel right now.
I have I think the one I'm really proud of the most is the collab I did with ANY over the do Princess's Dream of Magic Sheep video. ANY was really one of the main drivers of why I started doing this. He was one of the first analysts I started watching. He's like, I started watching, like, oh, he has a funny little accent. That's adorable. Then by the end of the video, it's like, wow, he actually makes some really good points and is entertaining. So when I first started, I sent my very first video off to him, which was done in, Windows Movie Maker and looked terrible and was terrible. But he was very supportive about that. He was one of my first subscribers, and we've been in kind of semi-contact since then. So when that time came to do that collab, it's like, this is what I've wanted since I very started. I wanted to work with ANY, and now I can, and I'm going to throw myself into this as hard as I frickin' can. So that half an hour episode that we ended up doing, I did over the span of 3 days, working almost nonstop. It was get home from work, start editing, stop editing around midnight, go to bed, get up, go to work, come home, start editing again.
Lovely.
Oh, wow.
You know what? And I didn't mind because I was so passionate about that one. It did not feel like work. It's like, I want this to be so good. I want this to be great. And I was so proud when it was finally done. And I was so happy to not have to edit that anymore for as much as I loved it.
It's a nice feeling when you work that hard on something. Now you can just sit back and enjoy it for yourself.
Oh, yeah.
What's the longest you've ever had to work on a project for?
That was definitely the hardest I've ever had to work on a project. That probably wasn't the longest. I know there have probably been other collabs that have taken longer than that. I think maybe the one with Red Cord took the longest because we had very unique assets for that one. There was like a very distinct before and after before the actual video. A lot of that, we had a lot of vectors that Vector Brawny made up for us. So big shout out to him because he's done a lot of vectors for me over the years for completely free. And he's an awesome dude, and I love him to death. So that one probably took the longest to do, but that was still done within a week's time.
Question. Okay, yeah, no. I was about to ask, is that like the big Red Cord video on Twilight's Kingdom, or
that is the one
you attended?
It was a collab about I'm a terrible person. I can't I'm blanking on what we actually talked about.
I know. It was like something about like Applejack or Rarity being richer, something like that.
Oh yeah. I'm glad you know my videos better than I do. Yeah, it was about the income levels of the main six. Who was the poorest to who had the most money.
This is weird. I have co-hosts who are ready for the show.
Yeah. See, I actually know your guests before I actually come on your show. Isn't that interesting?
That's great. It's
more like it's kind of like I'm really good at podcasts. Wink, wink. Have me on for bigger people. Wink, wink.
Wow. I'll have you know, Cannedcream has over 20,000 subs, sir.
Well, yeah, we gotta get to like 600,000, dude.
Oh well, Where am I going to find those people? Dude. Anyways, moving on. Oh, what's your favorite time killer online?
I probably spend a lot of time YouTube videos, Tumblr. For as much as I hate Tumblr, I'm constantly on Tumblr, Reddit, TV tropes. Take your pick. Any kind of time-wasting website you can think of, I'm probably on it.
TV tropes, best time waster.
TV tropes will kill you. It will eat your soul.
Too late. Artie has done it.
Okay, I hear a lot about TV tropes. I've never been on it. Someone explain to me TV tropes.
Who wants
I'll have to pass on that one. Yeah, I don't know that one either.
Imagine
Basically a
all the
decent way
information you never knew you needed to know about any piece of media.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now imagine that stretching on for infinity like the Matrix room.
Huh.
Well, like, what is it? A best way to put it is there's a lot of different. It showcases a bunch of different stuff like movies and stuff like that, and places a trope that is associated with it.
Mm-hmm. That's
and then
such like that. It's basically like
how's it different?
Tropepedia. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, I was about to say, how's it different than Wikipedia?
Well, basically, like Brawny, what's a piece of media that you really enjoy? A video game, movie, cartoon, anything.
All right. My favorite movie used to be 2006 The Protector with Tony Jaa.
Okay, well, I promise you, if you type that into TV tropes and you go to that page, you will find out every piece of information, every trope it uses, every behind-the-scenes thing, every actor thing, anything you ever knew you never knew you needed will be there. And each trope links to its own page that's specifically about that trope, and then lists a whole bunch more, everything it's in it. You end up with 15 tabs open and like 3 hours of your life gone, and you have no idea what happened.
Only 15 tabs in 3 hours?
I get a similar effect with WatchMojo.com videos.
I have my own TV tropes page. Wink, 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 wink.
Oh, for God's sake!
Yeah, Peter's told me that all the huge. Yeah, Peter told me all the attention whores go up and make their own page.
I ended up on there somehow, but I didn't make my own page. One of my someone leaving a comment on one of my videos brought up that either they or someone else added me to the Fatgrobatic TV trope page.
Well, you've told that story, Brawny. To be fair, and no, it wasn't me because I've actually never. I've heard that mine is screwed up, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to monitor it. I don't care. I've heard about enough other people.
I didn't tell. That was before. That was when I did that. It happened because I did that sword fight scene in the Canterlot wedding video. That's why. But
nice.
But yeah. But I never thought to actually go check it out. But I do hear a lot about it. It's a time waster.
It is. And I know the Brunalsis community has its own TV tropes page.
Oh wait, I got one.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Whenever you're just low on motivation, what do you usually do to get that motivation back?
Yeah, a lot of the times I kind of sit and think about the episodes. It's amazing how many ideas actually come to me when I'm not trying to think about them at all, and they just pop into my head. It's like, oh, well, what if they were all actually aliens? I don't know where that thought came from, but okay, let's explore that. What the hell? Usually a lot of them what if they all were aliens? We can't prove they're not. But a lot of it comes just like after watching an episode, just because this is really recent, so that's probably why it's still in my mind. During the Brotherhood Social episode, Rainbow Dash makes that one passing remark of "Don't think I'm going to go easy on you because you're a stallion," and just that one single throwaway sentence, create an entire topic in my head. Like, well, okay, then what are the gender roles in Equistria? Because all the leaders are female, the population is largely female. Does that mean the whole male-female thing is kind of been flipped on its head in their world, and the men are seen as a weaker species or something in a weird cultural whatever mess? And it's like, normal people shouldn't think stuff like that, but that's how my brain works. And so that's a topic.
Oh, don't feel bad about it. That's Anthony C's perception. He's like, I like the fact that the males are something. Yeah, exactly. Did I ask you what your field of study was?
It was video production was my major in college, and that was something that I've been doing since high school, and I've really enjoyed. I minored in anthropology, which was a great influence on the topics I do now, because that was something I didn't mean to go into, actually. I just took a course in it because I needed the credits, and I just really, really got into social anthropology, which is, exploring why cultures do what they do, what creates cultures, what creates counterculture, why, you can have a large group and a little subgroup inside that and a subgroup inside that and how that happens and, why we have these ideas of this is what is acceptable in this group, this is what is not acceptable, how those come about, how we react to them. It's really amazing just how random we are as a species and just how we love grouping ourselves in and belonging to something. It's absolutely fascinating.
That does sound really cool.
What was your favorite tidbit that you learned while studying that?
Here's something interesting. Your hair color can change how people perceive you. If you have blonde hair, for example, people will take you much less seriously than if you have black hair. If you have black hair, you are seen as more serious, less trustful, and more seductive. If you have brown hair, you are seen as more down to earth, more normal, more dependable, all because of just the color of your hair. Whether or not you realize it, it's like this unconscious factor that changes your perception of a person.
Wouldn't that play almost into art theory, where different colors invoke various emotions? If you apply that to such a wide spectrum as could be a human body, with hair colors and all sorts of other things like that, you can probably get different subconscious connotations like that. I almost touched on that type of thing with the coloring of the characters. I could definitely understand that.
It's kind of, like I said, it's amazing, and there's just so many factors that kind of change how we perceive a person. People who we perceive as physically attractive, for example, for whatever reason, our minds believe that they are more trustful than someone who is less physically attractive. I think it all plays into, like you're talking about. Like, I think a lot of it is aesthetics and how much that changes how we see things and how we see people.
Right. So along that line of thinking, how did you come along to design your avatar?
No such thought went into that. I mean, there was no art theory and planning in that. The way I created...
You need a comeback line?
It looks minty fresh.
No, I was about to say, if you need a comeback line, you go sit there and say, well, what about people who don't have hair? What do people think of those?
Hey, I'm right here, Anthony.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Well, you were picking on him for his OC. I was trying to give him a comeback line,
No, I was actually one of my close friends is completely bald and has mutton chops. So, take that for what you will.
That's hilarious.
I give him shit for it constantly.
Was he growing them out for Halloween?
No, he just has them.
That would have been
That's a choice.
Yeah, okay.
That is a life choice that he has made, and he has to live with it.
I was about to say, is he a big Wolverine fan or something? Or trying to get him off the hook here?
No. Wolverine has hair.
I tried.
No, but as for my OC, so we can actually answer one question that was asked of me before we go completely off topic every time. That was created kind of as a parallel to myself, because I just completely unoriginal. It's like, I'm going to make myself in pony form. So it was, the white fur because I'm a pasty white dude and I burn in the sun if I'm out in it for more than 3 seconds. The brown hair because I have brown hair, and the shaggy because it's shaggy. The vest and tie because I like wearing formal clothing. I have several ties and several different vests, and I wear them to work all the time because I don't have to. I just do. And the glasses because I have them. The only thing that really deviates is the green tints in the hair and the green eyes. And that was because originally
the one thing that you actually did.
No, I have another story. We'll touch on that later with dyeing hair. But originally it was solid like brown, white, and black, and he was incredibly boring to look at. So I put in the green highlights in the hair, and then I changed the eye color to green to kind of give it just a little bit of pop and color. And I was very satisfied with how that looked. So, like 99% of your answer is it's author insertion followed by slight aesthetics to make him actually stand out better.
I dig it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I want to hear that hair dyeing story, though.
Okay, so here's a fun story I learned about hair dye. At one of my previous jobs, for whatever reason, God knows why, one of the girls brought in this electric blue hair dye. And one of the other girls at work was like, hey, if you dye your hair, I'll dye my hair too. And I was like, okay, let's do it. The moral of the story here, I'll get to that right now, is never go first. So here's what happened.
I already knew that one.
So we're in the bathroom. There's like me and like 3 other girls, and it's not nearly as fun as that sounds out of context. So I'm in the chair. I have a towel over me. My hair is freshly washed now. They're putting in the dye, this butt-ass ugly blue, bright blue, painfully blue hair dye through my hair. They don't do the entire thing, but a lot of streaks. So just imagine a whole bunch of uneven, crappy-looking blue streaks through my shaggy, crappy hair.
So shining.
The other girls
went from
basically
went
shining
from
armor, only not as good.
I was thinking 1980s, then to 1990s punk rock later, but go on.
Also not as good. But
Oh,
so when the other girl sees it, she's like, no, out, done, nope. And I'm like, you bitch.
you were able to re-dye it or what?
This stuff was supposed to wash out in a week, right? So wash out in a week. Cut to 1 month later, when my hair is still goddamn blue after washing at least twice a day, every single day. I have to basically go to the barber and like cut it out. Just cut it all out. Just do what you gotta do. Just make it gone. This poor woman's looking at me like, what did you do to yourself? What happened to your hair? It was supposed to wash out in a week. They lied.
Well, that's some good stuff. If it would have been a good color and, you were gray, that'd have been wonderful.
That's when you say, I was suckered in by the siren's call.
Yeah.
I have no impulse control. Someone said...
So I always find it funny when people... I was about to say, I've always found it funny when people are like, I'm tired of the old story of men doing something stupid for a woman. I was like, that's not a story, that's real life.
That's what... that's true.
Sorry. Let's see here. Has there ever been something that you've been too stubborn to let go of?
I probably a lot of things. You know what? To this day, for all the good things I've heard about Harry Potter, I still have not watched it because of just how much Harry Potter stuff there was that came out when those movies were coming out. It's like, I'm sick to death of it. I don't care. I don't care if it's good. No, shut up and talk to me. I don't want to. It's insanely popular.
Were you ever that?
Yeah, and I know it is.
Were you ever that Brawny?
No, actually, because I wasn't bombarded with it. I was like, okay, cool, cartoon, talking animals, people like it. I'll check it out. Awesome. I will watch this. I'm not going to rage against it.
I'm just imagining the way you describe it. You're sitting there, like, walking through, like, a convention with, like, maybe a Luna plushie on your arm. Look at these assholes with their freaking wands. Jesus.
What?
Could you imagine? Turns up nose, walks away.
Come, Luna, let's be away from here.
I'll not contaminate you with their shoddiness.
And we'll go show them some real losers. We'll go show them some real magic.
Yes.
As you
that is terrible.
Hold it, well, get your mind out of the gutter, and it won't. As you hold it up in the air, make flying noises as you walk away.
Whoosh.
But
you'll never.
There's a question. Have you ever been to a convention, and if so, do you have any good stories?
No, I have not been to a single Brawny convention. I really want to, but a lot of the big ones are completely out of state. I cannot afford to drive or fly to a different state and stay in a hotel. I would really love to, but I have not as of yet.
What about a non-Brawny convention? Have you ever been to one?
Also, no. My life is sad and empty. I am the worst kind of nerd. Believe me, I want to. I really do want to. I want to have the full-on convention experience. The tight crowds, the terrible smells, the overpriced merchandise. I want that in my life. I just have
believe it or not, it didn't smell nearly as bad as I thought it would be.
I love how it didn't smell at all. No, it was as bad as I thought.
Well, growing up, I usually went to Chicago Con Wizard World, and I always went out of my way not to be there for day 3 because I just imagined, common sense would lead to that to be the day, oh dear Lord. Went to BrawnyCon for 3 days, and you have to remember a lot of people just bailed by the 3rd day. That's probably, I think, what saves it.
There you go.
Everyone else unwashed.
But yeah, it's...
Canned, I can tell you that I am probably one of the masters of figuring out how to do stuff with absolutely nothing in the budget. So we'll probably not get into it here, but if you're really interested, I could probably help you come up with a plan later on.
We'll talk. Yeah, we'll talk.
You won't regret it, believe me. Even though I've spent way too damn much at a convention myself, it was totally an endeavor that was a once-in-a-lifetime kind of experience.
Yeah.
At least BrawnyCon was.
One of those things
is that the one
you should just do once, at least.
Yeah. Is there a specific one, any convention that you would go to first and foremost before the others?
Oh, not really. I mean, any of the any kind of conventions, like for Bronies, BronyCon or E3 or PAX, any Comic Con, even though I'm not really big into comics, but they still have a lot of, it's expanded beyond comics. There's a lot of cool different stuff there. I would love to go to any one of those at some point. I'm really not picky as of which.
Well, I actually ran out of questions, so unless anyone has anything else.
Real quick, have you ever been a part of, aside from the Phonix Right, Phonix Wrong, whatever you want to call it, aside from that fandom, what other fandoms have you been a part of? And have you contributed any other content to them?
Oh yeah, I've been in various fandoms throughout my life. I suppose if we're talking like major ones, the biggest one is Mass Effect. I've really loved the Mass Effect series. I've been a fan of it since the first one when that originally came out, and I've been playing. If you look on my fan fiction page, and you will find a terrifying number of Mass Effect fan fictions on there. And here's actually kind of the funny thing. There is one on there. It was the very first one I wrote for that series. Not the first one I ever wrote, just for that. Again, I'm a loser. That showed up on a God, how should I phrase this? On the BioWare forums, right? There was each character from the Mass Effect games had their own little subsection in there, right? Mm-hmm. My favorite character from the games was Tali'Zorah. So I find that the Tali'Zorah fan thread, and on the very front page they have notable pieces of media from various fans. I find my fiction listed on there with author unknown on it. So I like go in like hey guys, that fiction on there, that's mine. So if I can be credited for that, the response I got was like, "Do you know how hard you made me cry when you wrote that? You asshole!"
Holy crap! I think I saw that on the forum. Oh my god!
I apparently had this gathering of people who knew who I was before they knew who I was, and that actually kind of cemented me within that group. I actually still have friends I talk to to this day from that group. Being in that group was one of the greatest things that happened to me, because I have 2 and 3 of my best friends from there to this day. That is great. And that is why I love fandoms, because you get to meet some great people.
Nice.
I know. Good story.
Yep, that is
Compliment
a good story.
Myself.
So quick question. What's your favorite genre of music?
I don't really know. God, I have a lot of alternative rock. I have a lot of electronica in there. I discovered when I got my first iPod just how random my music selection is, but I think that's kind of true for a lot of people. I don't know if there's anyone who has just one genre of music they like and nothing else.
Oh, yeah, but what do you see yourself listening to more than?
It really don't have to answer that.
No, that's fine. I mean, it took a friend who heard a lot of my music that I listened to, who gave me an outside opinion. He's like, apparently I like a lot of really high tempo, fast beat, energetic songs. So a lot of that does fall into things like, rock, alternative rock, techno and dubstep, things like that. And that is what a lot of my favorite genres are.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
So we wrapped up, or?
I'm out of questions.
Solid. Well, I hope you had a good time.
That was fun.
I'm glad that you managed to agreed to come back.
I showed up this time.
No, it's.
I didn't flake out.
I don't know. I was like sitting there saying, "Well, I've already got the fan art. I'm gonna bug him until I can get him on now." So,
this was great.
If I get somebody you're interested in, would you be interested in coming back?
Oh, even if you have someone I'm not, yeah, I'll come back. This is great. This was fun.
Oh,
yay!
Yeah, thank you. Yay, indeed. All right. I'm pretty sure I've been checking. It's been recording and Skype's been crashing forever.
Oh,
so.